People think that entrepreneurship is all about the business.
That's not true. Absolutely not true. Once you know yourself, who you are, what do you want, what you already know within yourself, you will definitely be successful. That I guarantee you.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Personal Development for Entrepreneurs. We are at episode 18 today, and we're going to be talking about what is emotion and how you can manage it better in your life. I have with me my mentor and good friend, Dr. Venga Kalachulu, and we're excited to be speaking again to you guys. How are you, Dr. Venga?
Good, very good. Good evening to all, to you, Ikram, and to the rest of the those who have joined us. Okay, I hope that this few months of staying indoor have made you feel much better and understand that we are not alone, that we have to care for the environment as much as we care for ourselves. And this must have taught you during this period, taught you to understand that as a human, you have the possibility of being what you want to be. You're the only creature in this entire planet that has the possibility to become what you want to be. And with that, welcome to the session.
You know, just on a side, Dr. Venga, I just realized when you was talking about the lockdown and realizing our potential, that I've not physically seen you for over 2 months.
3 months.
But I've not felt it because of Zoom.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. You're right. As if we are together and we meet that often. Actually, I stopped seeing you towards the 14th or 15th of March. No, sorry.
That's right.
Earlier than, yes. So it's March, April, May. Okay, that's 3 months. 90 days I've not seen you, Ikram.
Yes.
About 90 days, huh?
Thank God for technology. At least we've been able to keep in touch and meet and speak almost as if you were here in physical presence.
Absolutely. I mean, it's amazing, isn't it?
Yes.
The fact that we have gone 90 days and yet we are still together. In the sense that, hey, we meet, we talk. Huh? It's an amazing experience, isn't it? I mean, never in my life have I ever, in my 81 years, okay, where not meeting people, it's never happened to me. This is the first time. Even during the war, during the other times when there was curfew and all that, there was a question of a few days or something like that, and you're back again, no? And here we are, 90 days have gone by. I have definitely improved myself in many ways. I've used all my time to do things to myself. This is what I have achieved.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and I begin to understand that running a house and things that happen in the house, which I took for granted. I begin to, I used to have a drink and I leave the cup for my wife to clean it or wash it, or my sister-in-law to do that. Now I do it myself. And I had a tremendous experience because my sister-in-law who lives with us, she's the one who used to cook, and all my wife buys and she tells her what to do. And then we live very okay. Suddenly she went and broke her right ankle. And for now, more than 90 days, we have to take and do her duties and all that, and begin to understand that, hey, we have not been fair to her in the sense that, hey, there are many things we took for granted: watering the garden, taking care of the flowers, taking care of the entire environment. We took for granted. Right now, we've spent this 90 days trying to understand that, and I'll jump into everything that needs to be done. I have realized that I have lived in some way very unconsciously in that area. So I have changed that and begin to look at it in a different light altogether.
That's
what.
fantastic. So, Dr. Venga, coming to our topic of the day, emotions. What exactly is emotion? We talk about it a lot. I mean, everyone says, I feel emotional today, don't make me emotional. But I don't think we really understand what is emotion.
To explain that to you, Ikram, if you see my first slide that I have prepared, no? This is a lab. You see the little disc over there?
Yep.
With some with orange in color. Can you see that?
Correct.
And then a kind of a test tube that is touching it.
Yes. We drop coming out.
Yeah, drop coming out. See, we all have emotions. And the brown thing there, the little thing that is on that represents emotion. Now we have billions of emotion into us. Okay, that little test tube with the little thing coming out of it, touching it, and suddenly when it touches it, it then becomes something else.
One small drop of emotion can change a whole pool.
A lot of things.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you can just think about it, okay? Suddenly, so a word somebody say hits you, and your entire emotion changes. This little disc represents that with the drop coming out. Is that not true? You talk to your wife, okay, or your children, or your friend, or with your working colleagues, and suddenly he or she uses a word, and then that word triggers you. How can a sound trigger and change your entire emotion? How?
That is the fascinating part about emotions. You know, Dr. Venga, I was speaking to my sister last week over Zoom, and we were talking about this, and I asked her, you know, I named a person. Let's call him person A. I said, A, you like A a lot. He's a good person, right? What if I told you that A said you're a lousy mother?
Okay.
She went, I would be upset. I said, you feel that emotion right now, right? Yes. Then I said, what if I told you I'm lying? A didn't say that. Then you're back to normal again. Just that one word or that one thought can create a whole perception and change how you feel.
Absolutely right. You feel, do you feel it yourself?
Yeah.
You feel it.
Yes.
And when you felt it, where does it hit you? Does it hit you on the heart or the head? Where? See,
that's
yes.
We were discussing this earlier, and I think it's the whole body.
Yes, that's right. Absolutely right. It does. It hits the entire body because this is human. That's why we are human. From all the creatures in this universe, we are the only creature which has this emotion. And you know, that emotion is very, very key to human life. Without emotion, we wouldn't be like this.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because we have this emotion, we are human. And that emotion that we have will make us become a being. We be whatever we want to be. But for us, we must be the one to make that happen. You can't go to a bookshop or seminar or go to school, get a PhD and be a person. No, you have to be inside. Inside you, the character. It's an important part of us. Without emotion, We are just another animal.
Absolutely.
We have developed it. Evolution has taken us, creation has taken us to this stage. You see, instead of saying evolution and having a lot of debate, let's say creation. We have created this. We have been able to make it. That's why we are becoming method. Every book that has been written on emotion and then emotional intelligence is very superficial. Because to write about emotion, one must experience it himself. This is not to sell books. And those kind of books that you write will never be bestseller because there's a lot in it. So emotion, like that picture that you see, yeah? Yep. See a little drop, wow, suddenly the entire composition of that brown thing that you see in that changes completely. And I mean, you've been a student, you've been to lab, and you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
This is what we are. This is what happens to us. Now, how many of us recognize that? How many of us recognize that actually we have to be very careful when people throw all sorts of things at us? We must have the ability to understand these are sounds which comes out in words, and it's coming to us. Hey, stop that word from coming to you and you absorbing it, and then a whole lot of your mood, your understanding, everything goes out of the window, and you become angry, and and you do things irrationally. This emotion.
Yeah.
Now, if you understand, let me also answer. Okay, let me give you a meaning. I mean, this slide here. Okay, explains emotion. Okay, perhaps all of you can read it and understand it. This is emotion. This is what it says. This is it. Understand it. And once you understand, this emotion is ourself. If I'm happy, where is the happiness? Outside me or inside me?
Inside.
When I love somebody, the feeling of love and all that is inside you too, right?
Inside, yes.
Okay. Many people take love and sex in the same breath,
Interchangeable.
It's not. One is different from the other. And perhaps another time we can explain that. Fear, anger, hatred. Right now, when the coronavirus news that is coming out one after another, coupled with what is happening in China, America, and all those nonsense that's going around in the media, mainstream media, and then the side stream, which is all the what do you call the
WhatsApp and Facebook, and
a whole lot of things are coming out. Okay,
yeah.
Makes you angry, feel right, and then suddenly, the Hong Kong young people who think they are very clever, going to the street, human rights and all that, makes you wonder, do they really understand their own emotion? What are they trying to achieve? This is only one life. You have only one life. And what are you trying to do? People have forgotten about everything else except yourself. All this are part, and that is emotion there. So please understand that a lot of what we are doing, we are the one that is making it happen. Destruction, all that, okay? And our some leaders or so-called leaders have forgotten this one basic principle, which was written several thousand years ago. Okay? And it is found in the Confucius text, do unto others as others will do unto you. This is Confucius. It has nothing to do with anybody else. Confucius wrote it. Do unto others as you would have others do unto you. Okay? In the Bible, Matthew chapter 12, verse 13 or 7 or something like that, okay? If I'm not. But this do unto others as others do unto you is the behavior of all Indians. It is injected more or less into every Indian born. You must not do something that will harm not only another human being, but the whole of the universe. They are taught until the age of 12. This is written text. This is not something that I'm saying for fun. It is written text. Children in India are taught that, not now, ancient time, no? Well, 200 years that British have come and destroyed all that, no? But never mind that, okay? It's already happened. So in this sense of the word, that children are not being taught all of this, the feeling, the emotion, so many things that we go through, and we never even examine as to why. So the first thing to understand, the very, very first thing is that we, if you look at feeling, we have a lot of feeling. You know that, Ikram.
Yes.
We have a lot of feeling, right? On everything, on everything we have a lot of feeling, right?
Correct.
It's one of the part. This feeling is not real. Ikram, it's not real. You know that, I know that. It's what we make up. Okay? This feeling must be very carefully handled. If you don't know how to handle this feeling, and then that little drop, as I just now showed you that it drop, and then the feeling will become your own, anger, what have you, and you will react differently. So you must able to manage that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because why? Because we are constantly perceiving, see, you can never tell the same story twice, the same way.
Correct.
It always.
Yes.
So that's perception. We form a perception of our feeling, which is not, again, real. It is just like that. Okay. On top of that, that perception will lead to a third thing, which is we have this imagination that can create. Now, we in our imagination can create anything we want to, from what we have gained from our memory, okay, or what we have read. We have attended a seminar, read a book, listen to a lecture, listen to YouTube, whatever, or see a picture. Suddenly, our imagination became very, very wild.
Correct.
I mean, it can be anything. This is a fact. I don't watch a lot of movies, I never do. Because in the old days, when I was very much younger, I probably, the whole of my life, maybe saw a handful of movies. But whenever I see a movie, my imagination goes wild. I try to interpret, what can I learn from this? What can I do with this? And instead of watching the movie, I'm with myself already. So I won't remember the whole story, but I get caught in it. So our imagination, we have the possibility of imagining anything. It is through this imagination we have developed technology and what have you today. We have the best in life. This is the best period in which we almost have everything we want in our life with our imagination. Say yes or no, Ikram?
Yes, absolutely.
True. Absolutely. It's our imagination that has brought us to who we are, what we do. We can do everything. We can go to the moon, come back from the moon, from the the backside of the moon to the downside of the, we can send a rocket and a ship up to one of these asteroids, and that fella can come on and repair something, all sorts of things. It's out of our imagination. We are not superhuman beings. Our imaginations allowed us to do this. Now, the only thing is our imagination sometimes takes us to an extent we think that is real.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Now, that from that imagination, we then quickly go into another area. Where do we pick up all of this? Our memories.
Mm-hmm.
Our memories is the problem. Because why? We have experienced a lot of things. All that is stored into us.
Yes.
Can you therefore pick that memory and split it? Is it real? Is it not real? You need to check it, because all your memory, you know, the memory itself may not be real. I'm sure you must have read about it.
I've come across a documentary on it that, you know, I think as much as 20 to 30% of our memories sometimes are just figments of our imagination. They're not real, but they live inside as memories that's happened.
How come, Ikram? How come?
That appears to be a flaw in our memory. Apparently, the brain, it's really good at recording, but it is not a very accurate recorder.
Yes, right. It's not like a videotape you're talking about, right?
Yes.
Huh? Correct or not?
Yes.
A video can play the same way. Our
Okay.
memory changes. Correct or not?
Yes.
Changes according to time, according to emotion, according to surrounding, and then we can build up a story differently.
Mm-hmm.
Yes or not?
Yep.
Isn't it? So that's why if you don't examine your own memory, then your perception may be wrong, isn't it?
True. Yep. This is exactly true.
Isn't it? Huh?
Yep.
Now, in this environment, in this context of what we have talked about, okay, we have memories, we have all these things have its advantage and disadvantage. Now, if you look at this, if you look at this picture, you can see that, okay? B is where we are. In other words, all our memories, I try to make it a simple one. See, all our memories, all our emotion, our feeling, are all put together like in B.
They're representing very scattered thoughts and ideas and memories and feelings. Okay. Yeah.
Everything.
Sure.
You and I have them. We have them. Billions and billions of this. Mm-hmm. From the time we were born up to now. Even as we are now on this on this Facebook Live, this is another memory that we. If you ask me to repeat exactly what I've talked to you, say 1 week from today, I'll probably say a different thing altogether. Now, because of this thing that we have, like the first slide I showed, where a drop of those little things, one word can trigger everything else. That's why we get so, people kill because of anger. It has happened.
Yes.
We are very angry when, my wife is a very good example of that. She gets very irritated when people are running around the road. The recent thing that happened in America, she can never forgive how that poor African fella, black fella, what do you call African American, died because the policeman put his knee on his throat. I mean, she cannot accept it. Mm-hmm. And I had to really calm and talk. So we do a lot of stupid things, okay? Now, how do you prevent that from happening?
These emotional outbursts.
you see, how do we manage these emotions? See, unless, number one, we recognize, I hope after today, that people begin to see that we have a lots of this put together, but they're all crowded in one place, like the lab thing, you know. There are many of those brown dots around, and anything can trigger it off, unless we separate it. Now you look at A. If you can take it out slowly, okay, and put all your memories, all your emotions into where you can see reasonably clearly. No? I mean, you can see this emotion. What is this emotion that's bothering you? What? Okay? Why is it bothering you? What is the emotion that's bothering you? Why is it bothering you? That's it. Simple question. And then you will come to the situation like A. Can you imagine that you and I and everybody else is listening to this put all their memories in small compartments? Huh? Will we be a better human?
Yes, because that just by organizing your thoughts in the way that you've shown in A, it gives so much more clarity. I think once you've asked me when we met earliest, right? You asked me to count how many dots there was in B in 2 seconds, and it's impossible to do it. But to count the same number of dots in A, it's very easy. You can do it in a couple of seconds because of how it's organized, and that level of clarity is achieved when your thoughts are organized.
Absolutely. That is why, my dear friends, that's why they say, in simple word, they say, hey, start meditation. No? Okay? But people confuse meditation, yoga, all that. Okay? To me, if you cannot afford to go and learn good yoga, I mean really good yoga practice to enhance yourself, okay? I'm not talking about yoga exercise, okay? That's differently altogether, okay? There are actually 112 different ways in which a human can become better. 112 different ways. Let me not go into that, okay? All you got to do is, hey, I get this feeling, this emotion in me. I get this feeling that's irritating me. Why did they use this word? Why did they say this? And why is the news? See, especially when you sit on a chair, you can get yourself into trouble by just watching CNN news.
That is so true, yes.
Isn't it? Because they are trying to influence you with what they are. The reporter is not reporting, even CNN is not reporting what she or he sees. But you can see the emotion in which she or he is saying it, telling that as a regard to Hong Kong, that the Chinese are really stupid. And the Communist Party is like, I mean, and people are getting emotionally attached to this, and then you see what they are doing, breaking things and all that. This is true. You see how that's why we as human must be in the BA section, where all our emotions and feelings are in separate compartments. So we are clear, extremely clear of what we are thinking about. I'm not come to the how to, but this is what happens. We must go from B to A. All of us. How do we get there? We agree that we have emotion. Our emotions are intertwined and it can be mixed with everything else, from what happened today to yesterday. And we have this problem. We are all together mixed. We have a big bloody mixed things. You know? One of the things that you must understand is feeling is one thing, thoughts are different. They are not together. So you must be able to separate them. Thoughts are thoughts, feelings are feelings, separated. Now the question is this, okay, how can I get from B to A? How?
That's the $1 million question.
$1 million question. Okay, well, first and foremost, the simplest thing to do, and in my mind, the best thing to do is when you have a feeling, take a piece of paper and write your feeling in order that you might understand what that feeling is about and whether that feeling is real or it is a fragment or
figment of your imagination.
Your imagination, and it is not real. Only maybe 1% is real. The rest are all my own imagination. This word, right, is so crucial that it is to make you understand how to go from B to A. Now, if we can do that, we will achieve a lot and become a better human being. So when people use words, body language, or something irritates you from the CNN or BBC or other kinds of media, or even all those things that are coming from WhatsApp and Facebook and what have you, Twitter and all that, you begin to say, hey, is it real or not? Is it really? I mean, in these 90 over days, so much of lies have been told by all, including CNN and BBC and the presidents of countries and what have you. So, and people get emotionally upset. Okay? But if you look at it very carefully, it can. Look at my head, my hair. The last time we met, it was growing all over the place. I was becoming really like a chimpanzee. Yeah. Yes. So I sat down and thought about what to do. Say, go and buy yourself a machine, which I bought, and my wife did it for me. Okay. So it's again, any emotional feeling you have, any feeling you have. First, I separate between feeling and thoughts. This is the one thing I do all the time. These are my thoughts. These are my feeling. Thoughts can also be not real. Feeling also can be not real. But if I put the two together, it becomes a roja, Lana.
True.
And then I don't know what I'm doing. It happens to me. It does. Ikram, it does happen to me too. But quickly, within a couple of minutes, I pull myself together. Hey, Venga, is it feeling? Is it thoughts? Sit down, write down. My learning is the one thing I do, which is alone by myself, sit down, and this is what I call meditation, yoga, all put together in one little space, my own space, with nobody telling me what to do, what not to do, but I myself begin to look at what thinking, by writing it, by thinking, say, hey, is it feeling? Is it thoughts? And the more I do that, the more it's like practice, like a neurosurgeon has to practice to cut the right vessel, right veins and things like that. Like a heart surgeon, you do this, improve yourself. And when you have come to a certain level, suddenly you feel that you are not agitated, you're not irritated, you feel life. It's a wonderful thing. And that we all have one life. And how do we make this life useful to us?
Yeah.
And
we have 5 more minutes.
Oh my God.
going into this writing part is really interesting. So in order to separate your emotion, I mean, to manage your emotions, you have to move from B to A, as you just shown in this diagram, right? And the method to move from B to A is to do actual writing. I'd like to ask, so does that mean with every emotional feeling that you have, you sit down and do this every time there's an emotion, you feel emotional, you sit down and write?
Yes, yes, Ikram, yes, yes, yes. Otherwise, I cannot separate thoughts and feeling
Mm-hmm.
because some of that emotion is only 1 or 2% real, which is part of the thought process. The feeling comes out of many other influences. So at least I know, hey, this is not real. Only this part is real. This is my feeling. I can see the difference.
Okay.
Actually, you can see the difference.
You've been teaching me this, and I've been practicing writing, and it's really done wonders for me in helping me to separate emotions and from fact. I'm just going to describe how I go through the process, and tell me if I'm correct, just so that our viewers understand this writing process. So, as an example, let's say I was in a conversation with someone, and let's say it's a good friend, and this good friend says something that hurts my feelings. He says, "Ikram, you're lazy." So I get emotional over it. I come back and I sit down and I immediately write why am I feeling emotional about this. So then I would actually write down that it's because my friend said I'm lazy. Then the next step is, am I lazy? Do I feel I'm lazy? And I would evaluate it and say, no, I don't think I'm lazy. So what this person say, was it fact, was it truth, or was it uh, 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 his feeling? And then my next step is, it was his feeling. Does he have a right to have a feeling? Yes. Should it affect me? No, because I know I'm not lazy. And then that clarity, I arrive at a level of clarity. Is this how you go about the writing? Is this the correct way?
You have described it exactly. That's how to do it.
Okay. So it's a conversation that's going on in your head, trying to clarify this, but you're writing it out.
That's right. So I go from B to A very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Used to take me a long time in the beginning. Sometimes as much as a week.
Mm-hmm.
But what has happened nowadays is very quickly I can get to that within, say, less than 90 minutes. I know exactly what it is. A lot of it are my emotions, are my thoughts. It's not factual. What will other people think? What will other people say? What will what will other folk of my family say? All sorts of things which are not real. The real thing is, as an example, Vikram, just very quickly, and I'm sorry we have no more time left, but just like that. Like, now everybody is concerned about what's going to happen after COVID-19, how am I going to survive?
Yes, 100%.
Sit down, write down, what is your current job? What are you doing? Why will you not have a job? Or if you're an entrepreneur, what to do next? You don't know, I don't know what will happen when the thing is, we don't even know when it will be over.
Yep, absolutely.
We don't have a vaccine.
Correct.
All the lies, oh, we can get it in September and June and what have you and all that is a lie. Okay? Now we know you're looking at next year. And then all the treatment, hydrochloroquine, hydroxychloroquine, okay, all sorts of nonsense, okay? Yep. Why? You don't know what you're talking about. You don't want to listen to the experts, okay? Then you run complications. But if you just take one step, What do you say? Please stay at home. Isn't it?
Yes.
Simple instruction. You can't sit at home. Why? Because the same thing, Ikram, because our imagination, our feeling, our thoughts, all put together, and then we see all sorts of picture that comes out of the bloody television or media and all that. All the picture they are showing, with the exception of a few, are all pictures taken 1 year ago or a few months ago, maybe last year. You get influenced by that. That is why we have been influenced by the media, by social media, by mainstream media, by friends talking. We go and listen to some type of thing, which is, between real and not real. No, we don't. Sometimes, is it necessary to go out and listen to all people talking? Go ask yourself, okay?
Causes more emotions.
Exactly. Okay, they said the economy must turn around and all that. Yeah, sure, absolutely. But there must be a better way, lah. Okay, meaning that, please do only one simple thing, lah. Whenever you have this emotional feeling, one piece of paper, one pencil, right? Why am I feeling like that? Why? Just why? And you will answer the question yourself. Once you know that these are only my feeling, and that feeling is not real, in as far as memory is concerned, only a little bit is factual, the rest is made up, my imagination, all that, then you know what to do. Then you are clear with your thought. That means you have increased yourself, you have actually increased your awareness, which means slowly rising up to becoming conscious. We, all humans in this life today, are driving around the world blindfolded. It is some sort of a skill that, although you open your eyes and you can see and all that, but yet you drive blindfolded. Take off the blind. Become aware. Once you become aware, you will raise your conscious level. It won't happen tomorrow, but I guarantee you, you practice and practice this writing, you will get there. And you will become a better human being. Understand. I have totally, when I hear black, white, different races talk differently and all that, it just amazes me. Am I a human?
Yes.
If I am a human, am I behaving like one? Is my belief more important than my feeling? Okay? Because this text said that, that literature said, that fella said that, is that
Yeah.
as simple as that, right?
Yes, absolutely.
It's not so far, isn't it, Ikram? Isn't
Yes.
it? So try to go. Okay? By writing alone, you can get from B to A. That I guarantee you.
So there you have it, a simple but very powerful method, writing. Use it to gain clarity, to move from the proverbial B to A, where everything in your mind is organized. We have to end our session here, Dr. Venga. And so that wraps up episode 18. Episode 19 will be showing on July the 1st at the same time. We always do these shows on the first Wednesday of every month. So stay tuned for episode 19 on July 1st. Till we meet again, stay safe. And I hope you will be better at managing your emotions after this.
Thank you very much for listening to us. I hope that you'll use this simple advice. Sit down quietly in a place, start writing your emotions. You will be a better person. You'll manage yourself much better. I guarantee you that. I'm 81 years old.
Fabulous.
Good night.
Good night.